Alright, so when asked the question, are you for or against the ability for current and or prospective employers to view and check up on an individual's online presence, one must first understand which online presence the person, the one who is applying for the position, obtains in reference to online presence, such as whether you are on Facebook or LinkedIn. Facebook, for instance, is a personal website where you post pictures of your dog and your family, and is information that's really not crucial to the employer. Whereas on LinkedIn, it has your resume and all the things that reside relating to previous jobs and work ethic and so forth. Um, so the employer should only view what is crucial to the position that the person is applying for and not personal photos on Facebook or Tinder or Instagram, because an online presence there, unless it's explicitly hurting the company, isn't crucial for the viewing of the employer. So, according to the New York Times article on social media policies written by Stephen Greenhouse, in the eyes of employers, states, the Labor Board's ruling, which applied to virtually all private sector employers, generally tell companies that it is illegal to adopt broad social media policies, like bans on disrespectful comments or posts that criticize the employer. If those policies discourage workers from exercising their right to communicate with one another with the aim of improving wages, benefits, or working conditions. So I am in concurrence with this statement, as a company doesn't have explicit control over how a person can act and behave. Unless a company sets out a separate set of rules and guidelines for how a person should act online in reference to the company, then you have to obey it if you want to work there or are working there. The company can't enslave a person to do their will. A person is still their own entity and will do and say what they may with themselves. So basically, the company can bring out rules, but they can't tell the person to do it. They can, however, set a set of disciplinary action, such as lowering wage or limited lunch break. They cannot, however, take away insurance. They can, I don't know what else they can do. But anyhow, so for instances, so we're going to start with, in the instance of being a small company, this does not change the concrete fact that a person can do what they want. A company can discourage actions, but they can't really take out measures to completely eliminate that action from that person or persons for talking against the company within their online presence in LinkedIn or Facebook, whichever website is important to the company. Although there's a certain point that the small company should not cross, as it would be an invasion of privacy, as such as just stalking them, which is unauthorized and should not be encouraged. So moving on, in the instance of an HR rep at a large corporation, the rules of conduct should be highly enforced, not to the point of being stalking, but should be more highly enforced to make the company more reputable. Measures need to be taken to control whether confidential info goes in or out, and whether indignant things are said of the corporation, and whether the info of the core is true or not. As an HR rep, you should look at the background of the person, but not at their personal life. And it should determine whether or not they would be a good fit for the company or not. So it'd have to be crucial information, not passive information. To see whether his presence online is toxic to other people, to get a read on who he is, and again, if he would just drag down the company and would not make the company more reputable. Lastly, in the instance of an entry-level job, an online presence would be unimportant as you're just trying to start out, unless harsh remarks are made out explicitly against the company. As an entry-level job, this would be deemed unimportant, but then again, any company would hate any harsh remarks being made against them. Unless they have like codes of conduct or rules of etiquette regarding how you should behave yourself online, talking about them in reference from you to them. There are no really large implications for an entry-level job than I had when it comes to being a fry cook or being a cashier or something, because you're not hurting the corporation at large if it's an entry-level job. So, in retrospect, we can just say that you need to follow the rules and guidelines of said company that you are applying for or are actively part of a member at. So, an online presence is important for a company to view only if it affects the company.